So I wanna know what you kind of all came up with. Whoever wants to go first.
Victoria.
Do that first.
I usually scan to see if anybody else wants to chime in. We thought it would be good for Sean to actually review some of these articles and kind of assign that as homework for him.
Oh, okay.
But then not just leave it at that, but then have follow-up discussion, because it's very easy just to read at home on your own and then go, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But then to actually discuss it and say it out loud, we thought would be very helpful for him, because we have a lot of ill-informed assumptions. So that's kind of where we started.
Yeah. I like that. When you said ill-informed assumptions, would you say that any of these are way out of the ballpark?
No, I think they're very common. Yeah. They're common, very common, but inaccurate.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And that's important to, I guess, identify. This is in the, these are the narratives, yeah.
Yeah, it would be important to like challenge him, but also like not to the point where he feels it's shameful, and then like is gonna walk into the room with his like tail between his legs and like.
Can I ask, how would you do that with one of these? Like, if we just pick one, how might you couch this? Any of these?
Yeah. That can be really tough.
Like if I was Sean, what would you say to me?
Well, I think that I would just say that, like, when we think about working with our clients, sometimes it can feel like it would be easier to know exactly, like, what they've gone through, because we've experienced it ourselves, but that we are still capable to treat them well and treat them in a way that is helpful for them, even if we don't know personally what they've gone through.
So you're talking about that lack of experience.
Right.
Kind of question, can I do this really?
Yeah. That it can feel really comfortable to maybe know some of those, like, who is the woman in the relationship, or like the more feminine side or something, but that is not necessary for the sake of treatment.
Yeah, and acknowledging that like his certain like things he wants to know are like are based on like his inexperience, and like if he like I know that asking questions is important, but also like sometimes asking questions like can be harmful to like clients, and so it's like kind of like challenging him on like the motive of like why is it important for you to know who the woman in the relationship is? Is that like to make you more comfortable like when working with this couple, and like if you knew like how would that be different? How would you treat them differently?
And we talked a little bit about like his own sexual script coming out in those questions.
Sure.
So just giving him the space to say like, yeah, these are my own assumptions about how a gay couple would work. Maybe that is not actually how this works. Giving him that space to like feel and experience and feel okay.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about how like you would explore how safe it feels to have that excuse that you like don't have experience. Or not necessarily excuse, but like it kind of when you're asked to explain yourself, like it really protects like, oh I did that because I just don't know, I've never had experience, and like it could be really comfortable to have that, because like a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, well let me teach you, and especially early on, and I think like losing that, like not having experience means that like you're all in, and like when you make those mistakes it can feel like more personal, or when you like want to have those like heteronormative assumptions, like you feel like way worse if you don't have that like, oh, I'm inexperienced. So just like explain like how it feels to just like be able to say that, and like what it's gonna feel like when you can't say that.
We also
yeah. Sorry, I just clicked what you're saying.
Okay.
like, being able to express that to a treatment team or something, or being able to express that to a supervisor.
Yeah.
Not able to actually say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what you're getting at.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just like, or if he has researched all of like LGBT, like different communities and like the terms and has had a bunch of same-sex clients, like
Mhm.
after how much he can't say like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm inexperienced, that's just my own fault.
Right.
So that's really hard to like have to own that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's very true. I mean, it is for me, or, you know, it continuously is for me when I have a client that has a world that I have no experience in. Yeah, I don't think it ever stops. The discomfort around not knowing. Yeah. What else?
We talked a little bit about like when he is feeling like his inexperience coming out in the room, like how does that present itself? Like what's going on in his head? Like how is he like kind of disassociating from what the clients are saying? Because that can be like something interesting to explore. Like when you start feeling your inexperience come out, where do you go? Like, what do you do? Just kind of giving him the opportunity to say, like, oh, it's when they start talking about sex, that's when I'm like, I'm out.
And what does that mean?
Yeah.
How does that look?
Yep.
How does that affect the
And then
dynamic?
giving him, like, we kind of said, like, doing some sort of, like, a therapeutic process with the treatment team, like, okay, like, what are some coping mechanisms for you when you start feeling that, like, I'm going to shimmy out of here?
Mhm. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not letting him off the hook in those moments.
And, like Brooke, you have like some really good questions of like challenging Sean's heteronormativity and things. I think it's really important for the treatment team or supervisor to be kind of an example of staying curious. I think it's like a great way to disarm the like you don't know enough, you're not. It's just being like, oh, like, where's that coming from? Like, if you can model that for Sean, it's gonna feel a lot. I feel like if I was Sean, it would help me feel a lot better about my ignorance, and also give me more. It would empower me to go in with that same attitude. These clients.
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good point.
Yeah, and even like using these like questions and going through them, like that's like not enough. It's like if you answer like, cause like one question I thought would be important to ask was like, what are my beliefs about how a person like becomes gay, lesbian, or bisexual? It's like, yeah, you can answer them, but it's like, then where do you go from that? Like, how do you challenge that, or like, what does the process look like for you to like come to a more like comprehensive understanding of what that looks like?
Yeah. How would you imagine like it would really sink in for Sean? What would have to happen?
It sucks, but I feel like so often for people like it takes like a personal experience, and it takes like him being in the room with someone who's just like gives like their experience of like how like what like that process like looks like for them, and like just like a real example.
So what if we were to use Kyle and Jonas as like Sean's catalyst, what questions could Sean ask that like help Sean to really get a deeper understanding of his beliefs about how someone becomes gay, lesbian, or bi? Like what would Sean be asking Jonas and Kyle?
Well, I think it would be important for him to establish those questions before he went in, because his beliefs will impact the way he asks those questions. And so working through like those questions with the supervisor could be like another experience, like way to like kind of enhance that, like, hey, like the way I'm asking this is like kind of shaping their answer to like fit my narrative of what that looks like. So like, if I open it more, like if I open up the question in a different way, then like it gives a broader view and allows like more information to come out.
Do you have any, if you were kind of gonna take on that supervisor role to suggest certain questions to Sean? I mean, maybe I shouldn't put you on the spot, but would anybody? Yeah. I don't wanna put you on the spot, but you're on the spot. But no, maybe we can put it out to anybody, but what questions, to get at this specific thing, to get at how Sean could maybe explore and like,
Deconstruct.
yeah, deconstruct his own beliefs with Kyle and Jonas. What would a supervisor might suggest Sean to ask about their experience of being gay?
We talked a little bit about, like asking how Jonas felt or feels about how like his family doesn't believe that he's gay.
Okay.
And that can like, if he really dives into like what that makes him think towards his family and how he feels just about himself, and then he could apply that to his feeling about like Kyle, like not believing that Kyle's gay because of this, and like maybe knowing how Jonas feels will prevent him from like, or like help him change his views on Kyle.
Yeah, that's great.
I also think like maybe asking Sean to like share his own experience around like I don't know, like beliefs about his family and stuff like that, kind of gives him the opportunity to, or gives the treatment team the opportunity to say like, what would it be like for you to like ask this to him? Because maybe Sean can't connect with his clients on the homosexuality level, but he could find a way to, like if that need to connect with them makes them feel more experienced in the room, which is a whole other thing, but maybe he can find something to connect with them.
Finding some like mutual point of connection, so there's closeness, a little bit more closeness, not so like othering.
Yeah, and I think about like the report, like that Sean will break if he asks those questions.
Like who's the woman?
Or like pushes Sean to tell his family.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or sorry, Jonas to tell his family.
Yeah. Yeah, tread carefully with